Yo, what's going on YouTube? I am Germ here. All of these videos have been doing really well, so we are back with another one. Today we're going to be talking about my picks for the M4A4 skins that you should be investing in right now, or the ones that I think are going to be the best investments from this time today going forward into the future, through the release of CS2, throughout the lifespan of CS2. I've looked around the markets, looked at all the different M4A4 skins. I've done the research, and I'm bringing all the information and the results to you. Today we're going to be talking about 7 different skins that I like, or at least I think make sense as an investment on some level. Obviously, some are going to be better than others. Some are going to be at different price points than others, and all of that good stuff. So first up, we're going to be starting off with the M4A4 Temukao. And I have this one at the beginning because, weirdly enough, I actually don't think that this one is a very good investment right now. I don't think this one is a very good investment yet. But one day I could see myself and a lot of other investors owning a lot of Temukaos, or having a very, very big Temukao kind of position. So what I like about the Temukao is it's colorful, it's fun, it's exciting, it's clean. Obviously, it's got some anime girl on it, that type of vibe going on. People like that. It's really, really good. It's a great skin in a lot of different ways. Obviously, the current price reflects that as well. This skin, lowest one on the Steam market is $445 in factory new. So this is a very, very expensive, popular skin. But this is from the Revolution collection, obviously dropping from the Revolution case. That Revolution case is a case that is being actively dropped right now, and that's why, despite the very, very high prices, you've seen that this lifetime graph doesn't look so great. The price has relatively stayed flat or dropped, which is obviously not something you're looking for a great investment, and that's going to continue to happen because really the supply of these are going to keep going up. Now, the demand is going to remain high. People are still going to like the Temukao. It's always going to be popular. I think it's always going to be a great skin. But at least for right now, it doesn't make sense to pick it up. It doesn't make sense as an investment. I really believe over time, as long as the Revolution case is easily accessible, still actively getting dropped, still getting opened at huge, huge, huge quantities and clips, we're not going to see the prices run up a ton. But the day that that Revolution case gets taken out of the active duty drop pool, or whatever it's called, the Temukao is going to be a great pickup. And like I said, I could definitely see myself buying a lot of them. There's not a ton of really amazing M4A4 skins out there, to be honest. I think the Temukao is one of them. So it's kind of a shame that it's not a great investment right now. But definitely keep your eyes out for this one. Next up, another one that I wanted to kind of get out of the way because I do think it's a really, really good investment. This is a skin that I could definitely see myself owning at some point in the very, very near future. I don't know if my computer's like lagging a little bit or what the heck's going on. But this is the M4A4 Howl. Obviously, it's one of the most iconic skins in the game. I actually do believe that this is my favorite skin in the game. I do really, really like this one. I don't know if this lag stuff is coming through in the video or not. Hopefully not too bad, but this is probably my favorite skin in the game. I think I am going to be buying it. I think the M4A4 Howl, obviously it's very expensive, with well worn being like $4,500 right now. I think you can actually find it for like $3,800 on secondhand sites and stuff like that. I know on like Buff, I think it's around $3,800. And if I can work my way up to that, which hopefully won't be too long, I definitely think I will be purchasing one of these. I think especially with the rifle changes in CS2, where you can use the M4A4 and the M4A1s, that'll be good for the Howl. It's iconic. The supply is not going up. It's got so many good things going for it. I think it's one of the coolest designs in the game, and it has the history, and it's rare, and it's popular, and it's old, and it's expensive. This is a gun that, if you're talking about M4A4s, you got to talk about the Howl. But now, getting into stuff that I like a little bit more as investments, and things that are a little bit more affordable and make a little bit more sense for everybody. First up, I want to talk about the Emperor. Right now, this is factory new, going for about $220. The graph of this thing recently looks really, really good. Obviously, for a while, the price was kind of flat or going down. It bottomed at around, I don't know, $68, $70, somewhere in there. And then it's just kind of risen up. It hit like 89, then hit 90, then it hit 100, goes to 120, 130, crashes back down a little bit to the 100 range. But then from 100, it pretty much just shoots straight up to like 230, comes back down, shoots back up. This one is very, very up and down. It's been very rocky, but if you look at, this little part right here, this has mostly been upward since like November, and I kind of just continue it. I think it's going to keep continuing to do that. I mean, right now it looks like we're trending in the upward direction, and I think that makes sense. Like I said, I think the M4A4 changes are going to be good, or the rifle change in CS2 are going to be great for a lot of M4A4 skins. This is a good-looking skin. It's a popular one. It's a not a super expensive one, but it's an expensive enough one that shows that it has good demand. I think this thing's going to keep going up. Obviously, if you want to get a little cheaper, you can buy the different wares and stuff. All the wares should move pretty similarly. But yeah, I think the M4A4 Emperor is a great skin. I think the graph is looking really, really good right now. One of the most affordable skins on this list is the M4A4 Dragon King. I mean, this is probably the cheapest one actually. Right now, going for $35 in factory new. So again, you can just assume what the other skins are going to be. They're going to be even cheaper in the other wares and stuff. But this graph looks so good. This is an old skin, and for such long term, this thing has just gone up. It bottomed out at around like $5 way back here, and then it's gone up, shot up to 12, and then, it's at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 for a while, then it hits 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, kind of goes back down, then it's up to around the 30 range, then it crashes. A lot of A4 skins have had this crash in this range for whatever reason. I don't know if this is like a nerf or a change or what happened, but then it hits its bottom again at around $15, and since then it's been working its way back up. I think the Dragon King is a good looking skin. It's also a cheap and affordable skin. I think for new CS2 players, it's going to be people's first like good rifle skin in a lot of ways, because it's like kind of interesting. It's not ugly, but it's still affordable. I think a ton of people, especially new players and players with lower inventories, are going to be buying the Dragon King up, and I can see it kind of keep doing well. But I love that the Dragon King has a long history of just kind of slow, continual growth. It's never really had like super explosive or super insane growth, but it's just been consistent, and consistency is something I think you can rely on and believe in. So since it's shown consistent growth in the past, I have no reason to believe it's not going to consistently grow in the future as well. And yeah, especially if, people will also say like, oh, next year of the Dragon or whatever, so it might do good. Like, yeah, that stuff won't hurt either, but I think the Dragon King is something to keep an eye on. If you're lower budget, or if you just want to buy up a ton of something. I know some people like buying one big thing. Some people like buying a bunch of a small thing. If you want to buy a bunch of Dragon Kings, it probably wouldn't be the worst investment in the world. Next up, this is the Royal Paladin. I think this skin looks pretty cool. It's not like the most crazy or whatever, but it's pretty clean, pretty simple, pretty easy design. This is factory new at around $155 right now, and this is another graph that has just kind of slowly but consistently gone up over time. Again, you had this drop in this area where like all the A4 skins kind of dropped, and then since then it's been consistently rising again. I mean, I look at this graph and I just really, really like it. Again, don't really see any times of super explosive or super insane growth, which sometimes is good. That means there's not a lot of like insane hype or like over craziness or anything like that. It's just people, demand slowly going up, supply slowly going down, it aging really, really well, and people enjoying it and buying it and buying it and buying it and using it as a play skin and investing in it or whatever. People like the Royal Paladin. It's done well in the past. I think it's going to continue to do well. This is definitely a skin you should keep in mind or at least consider. Next up, we got the M4A4 Coalition. The Coalition, another, I don't know why all the A4 skins are black and gold, but another black and gold clean skin. I'm looking at the minimal wear here just because the graph looked a little bit better, but this one's different. If you do like the more explosive, crazy looking graphs, this one has that. It did have some consistent growth for a while, going from like $15 to $25 to $35, and then it kind of plateaued for a while. Hits this huge spike from 43 to 118, goes back down to 75. Up to 152. Now it's down back in the 100 range. Right now it's about 108 for minimal wear. The factory new graph looks pretty similar, but still, even with these explosive upward movements, it's kind of crashed back down. But even the lows have always been higher than the previous lows. This thing has still been consistently going up over time. I think it's a nice, cool, clean skin. Again, there's not a lot of great A4 skins, so it's nice that a lot of these good A4 skins don't have a ton of competition either. And I think this one's probably just going to keep continuing to go up in the future. You can definitely keep your eye on it. But right now, outside of the Howl, which is a little bit outside my price range and just really expensive in general, my favorite A4 skin, and a lot of people's favorite A4 skin, and what I think is the best investment right now is the M4A4 Asimov. I love the Asimov. I own an AWP Asimov. I could definitely see myself, I don't own an M4 or an AK Asimov right now, but I could definitely see myself owning them in the future. The skin's iconic. It's cool. It's clean. People love the Nerf gun or whatever. It's just so simple, but it looks so cool. It's so good in game. Again, this is one that I could really see being a lot of people's very first M4A4 skin in CS2. People who are returning to the game or people who are just new to the game and learning about Counter-Strike for the first time. This graph looks so good. All the Asimov graphs look so good. Just consistent growth over time. There's never, again, we've had this downward trend where all the A4s did bad, but when A4s have been doing okay, the Asimov has always always done well. This is the field tested Asimov, going for 220 right now, and it's just been so consistent, so good. You cannot go wrong with an op Asimov. You cannot go wrong with an M4A4 Asimov. And again, I think the M4A4 Asimov is going to be a huge winner from the rifle changes in CS2. Now that people can use both, I think a lot of people who use the M4A1S exclusively in Counter-Strike Global Offensive are going to be using the M4A4 a little bit more in CS2, and they might be picking up an Asimov. I think a good chunk of those people are going to be doing that, and the prices are going to, reflect that. So, yeah, I really like the HAL. I really like the Asimov, but I definitely want to showcase some of these other M4A4s as well. And like I said about that Temukao, if it ever, makes sense to buy that, definitely keep your eye out on that one as well. But pretty much every video today, guys. Hopefully I catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.